"I don't want a cake with 2 grooms on top," Richard said. "And we're not dressing up like Tom Wolfe," I added. "Let's just get married and have a party sometime this summer," Richard said. "And we won't even call it a wedding," I replied. Mimi, the marriage clerk at Kingston City Hall, beamed, congratulating us with hugs and tiny bags of M&Ms. With our license valid for 60 days, we consulted our schedules and added the event as if it were any other appointment, like a trip to the DMV to renew a vehicle registration. Richard and I had shared a business and a home for over 15 years. We'd both been married before, to women, and had no desire to stand on a receiving line, to dance a first dance, to make or listen to a speech. We have support of friends, family, even clients, and we're as committed to one another as any 2 people can possibly be. Over the years, we've already shared better and worse, supporting each other through loss, grief, and illness, including a summer of radiation therapy. Richard, joking, asked me to marry him long before, a moment I'll never forget, but we'd never expected legal marriage to become a possibility in our lifetimes. Years earlier, our attorney drafted some documents to enable us to protect each other's interests, wills and powers of attorney and some other papers, just in case. We weren't sure we needed to get married, but something stirred within me the summer New York made gay marriage legal, when I saw images of the jubilant gay couples who rushed to be married at midnight, double brides and double grooms, mature couples like Richard and me, partners who'd been together for years, thrilled, finally, to have their commitment codified by the state. Despite those just-in-case papers I carried from state to state in my briefcase, I knew that in an emergency, it would only take one unenlightened nurse to place a wall between Richard and me, and chilling stories of gay couples in crisis loomed large. A car accident, the sudden reappearance of an estranged family member assuming the mantle of next of kin, the long-term companion shut out, refused entry, refused access, refused information. This simply doesn't happen to married people. In a straight crisis, "That's my wife in there" suffices. A few simple words that grant one person admission to his rightful place beside another without presenting documents or even a wedding ring. Richard and I simply wanted that same protection, and once we made the decision, we reached for our calendars. "It should be a Tuesday or a Thursday," Richard said, "so it doesn't conflict with our gym schedule." "Right," I said, surveying the weeks ahead, "and afterwards we'll have lunch or dinner or something someplace." We asked 2 friends to be our witnesses and booked a lunch table at the Mohawk Mountain House, a historic Victorian mountaintop hotel in New Paltz. Focused then on deadlines, it wasn't until our wedding day was upon us that I realized how very different this was from the other events filling the schedule. Actually, it was nothing at all like a trip to the DMV or a chiropractor appointment. Richard and I were finally, actually, going to marry, and it felt like a very big deal. At Ulster County Family Court, we stood in Judge Tony's office between a desk and a sofa, and I had butterflies. "I'm not going to use any magic words to marry you," Tony said. "You just have to say out loud in front of me that you wish to marry each other. If you've prepared something, you can say anything else you'd like." I took Richard's hands, looked him square in the eye, and the 2 of us made promises. I could see forever from where I stood, and I already knew that forever wouldn't be long enough.